Freddy.
Welcome to Big Boy Golf after the Masters.
Wait a minute.
Was that a glitch? Is that a glitch or is that your voice?
Was that you have bad service or did you stutter?
I've been listening to Jim Nance all weekend. I'm all fucked up.
You went
Wait,
after
I have a question, Freddy.
Masters.
You told me you had this elaborate
No,
plan.
I bailed.
What?
I bailed.
Oh,
I got nervous.
I
Can
can
we
tell.
tell-
I can tell you
Can
got
we
nervous.
tell the boys what your plan was?
Yeah, I just didn't know how to phase it in.
I know, but I thought it would give me the
I
chills.
wanted to play the Japanese broadcast of when Hideki won on the green. It was like they had horns going on.
Dude,
It was really good, but I just didn't know what to do with it. And then Rock got in my head. He's like, "What are you gonna do after that?" I said, "I don't know." So I just didn't.
No,
know.
yeah. I don't
did he
know.
heckle
I mean,
you like
he
that?
made
Or
a
did
good
you just
point.
ask the question?
I would. Yeah, I
How do
guess
make
you
you make him sound like a jerk, which is, I mean, it could be accurate. I just did
He goes,
I would like to hear it.
he goes, "What are you gonna do after that?" I said, "I don't know." He goes, "Well, you got to do
You
something.
said-
Like,
no,
are you
you
gonna play
said-
the audio?"
You said,
like,
"Don't
yeah.
worry about it. I got that under control."
Yeah, it
You
wasn't.
think
It
that'd be
wasn't under
cool?
control.
I was like, "Yeah."
It was obviously not under control.
All right. Well, I'm disappointed, but I'm not disappointed in Hideki, our boy. Let's go.
bang, bang, bang. Follow
Not surprise number 3 and our new blended model that we are using. It was debuted, ladies and gentlemen. We debuted the blended model and it had a bunch of friggin' guys that just performed. And Hideki was number 3 and we got him at 55-1. So if that's not showing that it's spot on, I don't know what is. Got to be happy about it.
Vitamix is coming as a sponsor. You just wait.
Blended blenders.
Blenders.
So while we're speaking of the blended model, I mean, we had Zalatoris up there, we had Connors up there. I mean, JT had a day. He didn't have a tournament, but he had a day. Rom had a day. Guys that performed there were all at the top of this thing. I hope somebody bet Siwoo. I hope somebody did top 20 because he cashed in. Who else, man? There was a bunch of people up there that did well that we expected to.
Yeah, I mean, Stormy Georgie hit his value play.
Although I should get
well.
like points deducted because I forgot to make the friggin' bet. I'm just gonna blame my 5-month-old. I blame him for everything at this
You
point.
could do that.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Thank you. Thank you.
He can't say anything
my
otherwise.
man Leishman. I mean, he hit top 5. That probably paid huge if I hit that. Can't be mad at that result.
No, it was all in all, it was a good week. I mean, how awesome is it for golf to have a
huge.
win like that? I mean, come on, that was awesome.
Huge.
First
I mean, it
Japanese
was
player
nice.
to win a major. That's kind of crazy. Like
Male. There a female
There
just Japanese.
Oh,
one
thank
just
you.
won.
Thank you for that. Yeah. If you were to tell me that, even though I wouldn't have been able to name a Japanese player that I thought would have won a major, I still would have been surprised by that. Because, I mean, golf is
Yeah, I agree.
massive in Japan. Japan has more golf courses than Ireland and Great Britain combined. And I'm fairly sure Ireland and Great Britain's like 3 times the size of Japan. The Japanese people love them some golf, and Hideki is going to be like an absolute hero over there. I heard somebody say that I don't know how they could possibly calculate this, but that win will probably net him $1 billion of endorsement deals and stuff over the rest of his career.
Crazy.
Wow.
It's huge.
Well, now he's in the Masters every year. We get to watch our boy Hideki ball strike his way through the Masters every year. Awesome.
You know
Awesome.
what my wife said, and she's not one to really comment ever on golf when I'm watching it. But when he tapped in his bogey on 18, right? He made bogey, right? He missed his par putt.
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
to make bogey to win.
And we were like, he looks happy, but he looks like
Yeah.
I said to my wife, I'm like, I don't know if he's shocked. And she's like, I think he's disappointed. I think he's disappointed that he didn't play better down the stretch. And because she was watching some holes. And I'm like, I think you're right. Because they're all about pride in their, representing their country and what they do. I mean, you saw his caddy bow to the course when he stuck the final pin in. I
love
honestly
that
think that's
so
what it
much.
was.
That got me
I think
so
she was spot
fired up.
on. I think that, he was a little disappointed in some of the shots he made, and then especially to not, finish off the par on the last hole. I think he was just kind of like embarrassed. They talked about that a couple times throughout the the broadcast how Japanese players tend to get embarrassed when they don't perform or if they hit a bad shot. And between that and then seeing him like walk around the airport like carrying the green jacket, it was like,
That
dude, this
wasn't
is
real.
nuts.
That couldn't be real.
I
You
It
think that
was real. What do you mean it couldn't be real?
I don't think it's real either.
I mean,
What
do
do
you
you
know
mean?
that was Hideki?
Wait, is there footage of him walking around too?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Oh,
I didn't
Really?
see that.
All I saw was
Yeah.
a picture.
Yeah.
Saw
I
that
saw a
photo. I
picture.
thought it was fake because
I will say something else about that though, because I was thinking the same thing. I was just like, man, he doesn't even seem like he's excited that he just won the Masters, the first major ever by a Japanese player. But we obviously don't understand that culture. But the one thing that we do know about that culture is they're one of the least showboaty
yeah,
cultures, and they're all about
Honor.
respect and honor, and showboating or like fist pumps don't really work in that equation, I don't think.
Well, and also there's some emotion that's lost in translation, I think, as well. Like,
Yeah.
you watch the interview and I don't speak any Japanese, but he's saying all these words in Japanese, and then they cut to the translator, and he's like, Jim Nance said, "What was the biggest shot down the
I
stretch?"
thought you were
for
about to just speak Japanese.
Jim Nance goes, "What was the biggest shot down the stretch?" And then the translator asks Hideki. Hideki says 50 words. It sounded like 3 paragraphs. And then the translator goes, "It was the drive on 18. I'm like, that is not right. That is not what he said. He definitely said more than that. Like,
Anytime I see somebody trying to translate in that kind of situation,
you think it's fake.
It's so uncomfortable because
And-
you know that the translator is caught in this awful spot of trying to relay the question. And like you said, like you can't say it word for word. You're trying to mix English into Japanese.
Yeah.
So he's paraphrasing what he said, and then you get a paraphrased answer back. And we're relying this entire interview on this freaking old translator that just says whatever wants to say. It's like, there's got to be a better way.
Hesitating.
Give me a computer. Give me a computer. I'd rather a computer.
Subtitles. I don't know. Don't we have that technology at this point?
And speak Japanese to Hideki, and Hideki speak Japanese into a computer, and it spit out a computerized voice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
would
and
much rather that.
everybody's thinking this too when they watch these sort of things, and the
Yes.
translator doesn't say anything for like 10 seconds. Then it starts getting in my mind, and I can't be the only one where I'm like, did translator not
Yeah, because then you're like,
okay,
okay, he forgot. Now he forgot, and he's
now
got to think
yeah.
about what he wants to say.
right?
So
That's
Why
terrible.
does he have such an elderly translator? It doesn't
So
seem
awkward.
right.
Could be cultural.
The first thing that he's like, how does it feel to be a Masters champion? And Hideki says, in that case, he only said like 3 phrases in Japanese, and his translator's like, I'm really happy.
Yeah, like, no.
And then there was like that awkward silence, and I'm like, this is gonna be terrible.
I felt bad for Jim Nance.
I
man.
know. He
It was
handled it
hard.
though. He
Yeah.
handled it well.
He's a pro.
I heard, I did hear, oh, sorry. I did hear that when he is, guys that play with him at the club, he actually speaks and can hear great English. He speaks good English, and
Yeah.
he's just afraid to speak it because he's so nervous about messing up like a word. Like, he speaks clear and he can understand it. So he could have actually had the interview himself. But again, going back to the prideful thing for Japan, he won't do it because he might mess up a word.
So awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like him a lot after everything that I've seen in the last few days with him. It's hard not to like him, you know?
And not for nothing is Caddy bowing. I think that is like the greatest picture, sums up the Masters and Augusta all in one picture. Like, that is the most unbelievable thing, just bowing to the course that just dominates everybody.
I don't want to harp on the Masters too much, but I heard a very, very cool story. I think it was on the Foreplay podcast. They talked about it. I don't know if you guys saw it. I'll say it really quick and then we'll move on. So I did some research into how many members are at Augusta National, what it costs, yada, yada, yada. So it's in the ballpark of 300 members. That's it.
Wow.
For the whole club. Super, super prestigious. You can't request it. If you request to be on, you're probably going to get denied. They have to ask you. And it's somewhere in the ballpark of 40 or 50 grand a year from what I read. That's it.
Wow.
You could bring guests. Guests aren't allowed on the property until the member arrives, very old school. So on the pod for Foreplay, they were talking about, it was 2 separate stories from 2 different people. So it makes them think that it's accurate. Guests that have gotten hole-in-ones on the course. So it's happened, I guess, on occasion. A guest gets a hole in one. Months after the fact, that's another thing. They don't let you take pictures and post pictures
They
of
make
anything
you
there.
put your phone in a locker.
Yeah, it's very, very, very private. So I guess on these special occasions, they do let you snap a couple shots, but they're very controlling on what they allow. So they took, in these two separate stories, they took a picture of either the guy or girl taking the ball out of the cup, but some kind of commemorating picture. Months later, Augusta shipped not just a picture, but a huge ass, awesome painting of the person in that moment.
Wow.
For them. With that
Wow.
came a letter that said, if you would like to keep this painting, it's $50,000. Dude, both stories
What?
identical. Two separate people that didn't know each other.
Did
If
not
you want to
expect
keep
to
this
say that.
painting, it's $50,000. If not, we'll have, pay for it to ship back or whatever, blah, blah, blah. These people deliberate on it for, weeks and weeks, talking to their friends. Now, obviously, if you're a guest at Augusta, you probably have some money. Everybody there is loaded pretty much.
For sure.
So
They're connected.
they both elected to buy it because they were like, dude, I got to play Augusta. I got a hole in one. I have to make this work. It's a shit ton of money, but I can't not do it. So they both send the check for the $50,000. What gets sent next back to the person?
Oh man.
An offer to become a member.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Because that was the
I got the
test
chills. I got
to
the
see if it
chills.
was worth it enough to you, that if Augusta was that important to you that you would spend that kind of money on a painting of Augusta, then that shows that you're like a legit golf Augusta fanatic. And then that was the end to say, hey, you performed here, you passed the test. Do you want to become a member? I thought it was an awesome
That's
story.
crazy.
That's really
That's
cool.
sick.
Yeah. Awesome.
I would have
story.
totally failed. I would have been like, I'll just get my own painting.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd be like, thanks,
You
but no
would have tried to negotiate.
Yeah.
Would you
Like,
guys take 25?
Yeah, I would have.
thanks, but
We
no
do
thanks.
3 payments of 1,000.
Very cool
Can I-
story.
That is
One
cool.
more question before moving on, because I was actually legitimately wondering this. Can the PGA players play Augusta anytime they want?
Oh,
I
On
don't
not
know.
if
Can they
they're a
go
member,
there
I
and
don't think.
practice? Can they go there
I
and
think you have to
play?
get invited.
yeah,
Yeah.
I doubt it. I doubt
They
it.
have to even PGA. So what
Yeah.
about a month before you're going the Masters starts? You can't just show up and say hey, I want to play around.
No, I don't
No,
think
but
so.
we all know
Walk through the-
members, and I think if you win, you're an honorary member. So Tiger could invite you, or Phil, or whatever. So I
But
think that's how it
You
works.
can't
but
just
I'm not
show up at the
positive.
course.
No, I mean I don't think so, but
Okay.
Yeah, from what I
Listen,
read,
you
it's like they
should've
have their
asked
own
me ahead of
special
time.
events throughout the year, and it's very, very private and very, they do their own thing. But I don't know. I don't
if
think
you're
so.
gonna ask difficult questions like that, could you just give me a heads up ahead of time so I can do the research?
Well, I just had to get you back for asking me what I was going to do after I played the Japan broadcast.
By the
All
way, Hideki's only 29 years old. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It is crazy.
Huh?
That's amazing.
I thought he was
Yeah.
55.
All right, moving on. I could talk about the Masters all day. We all could,
All
but we got to move on.
day.
So awesome.
We are the RBC Heritage in Hilton Head, South Carolina. Very different course here. We're going back to a Pete Dye, just under 7,100 yards, par 71. Different from the Masters in all phases, pretty much. Rock,
Yep.
tell me about this course. Tell me about what we liked. This is much shorter. We're still on, or we are on Bermuda, but how is this course going to shape up in terms of stats that we're looking at?
Well, the big thing is it's a Pete Dye course. So guys that play Pete Dye well, we know they play it well all the time. It seems to be like a consistency with the way he maps out his courses. It's on the shorter side, and one key factor about this course is it's the shortest course on tour driving average. So it's a lot of laying up, a lot of clubbing down, getting in the right position. There's different angles are key here. It's tree lined. There's usually a lot of wind. Stormy Georgia, you're gonna have to talk to us about that. Like you said, bent grass. It's 7,099 yards, par 71, and smallest greens on tour. So you got to stack it if you want to win here. We hit Webby last year. It was played in June because last year it was canceled for COVID, but then it was one of the first tournaments back after the COVID break, and we hit Webby at 28-1. Webby plays well here. He always plays well on shorter Bermuda courses, so that's like kind of a Webb theme. But he went out and scorched the field last year, and yeah,
he's 8.5 to 1 right now.
I know.
From what I'm seeing, crazy.
Yeah, too crazy for me.
He's more favored than Dustin Johnson. That's nuts.
Yeah, and he doesn't seem all that right. I was on him big last week, and just had more blow-ups than I'm used to for Webby. He's not usually like that. He's usually more consistent, but he had some holes. It would just seem like he took the holes off. But anyway, I'm looking at ball striking. Approach is big this week. Fairways gained a little bit because, like I said, you want to be in the right position. I did a little proximity blend and par fours, 450 to 400 to 450 and 450 to 500. And then opportunities gained because that's part of the proximity blend, and then around the green because the greens are small. So if you miss, you want to be able to get up and down. And in my stat model, Russell Henley was number 1, Morikawa 2, DJ 3, Reeve 4, and then we did the blended model. For the blended model again this week, instead of course history, I did it on Pete Dye history. So I weighted that like 20%, recent form 25%, and then the stat model 55%. And Paul Casey was at the top of our brand new blended model.
Blender.
Playing great. Gotta like
a good Sunday.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. I love working with recent form in here too. I think we've been doing this long enough that we've definitely seen guys that have been striking it well in the past few weeks, whether it's Corey Connors or Zalatoris. There's just these guys that are generally playing well that are hanging up top. Siwoo. So, I mean, I like that we're factoring that into it. I think that's helping with what we're seeing. And yeah, I agree with the Pete Dyes. I mean, they all kind of play the same way with what he tries to draw your eye to and what it kind of gets you mentally on the course. So
yeah. And to your point about recent form, is it really helps you weed out the favorites because, you look at a guy like DJ, it's like, he crushed the Masters in November, but his recent form hasn't been good. Mm-hmm. He's missed a couple cuts now in a row, and he's a little messy. So it helps you not be tempted to lay that 12.5 to 1 on a big dog like DJ or 9 to 1 last week.
Can we get a petition going to have to make sure that Zalatoris doesn't wear a hat on his practice rounds during the week?
Bro,
because of the dude.
Bro,
I mean,
did you see the picture of Happy Gilmore's caddy?
Dude, he has it on his wedge. Did you see that?
Yes.
He has it on his wedge. It
What?
says
it's like stamped, engraved, Mr. Gilmore, I am your caddy. It says that on his wedge.
Oh my God.
He's the man. I love
Adam Sandler was tweeting at him all weekend. It was hilarious.
That's awesome.
That guy was, I mean, you got to give it to him. That performance was insane. And he did not look scared at all. Can you imagine your first time? You're 24 years old, your first time at Augusta, and you're like just
solo second. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Dude, even the putt he hit on 18 was insane. He hit like a 15-foot putt to close it out, and he was like smiling, laughing, like
it's got to be one.
And then he goes to the range.
Situation.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Dude, just like stones on that kid. It's got to be one of the best. This is his first year on tour, right? Like his first 12 months or so.
I think he just came from Corn Ferry, right?
Yeah, it's got to be one of the best first years on tour ever.
Well, I heard a story that he was like ranked 2000th in the world, and then some coach changed his grip, and instead of interlock, he does the overlap. And since then he's been like the best ball striker there is. I don't know, some sort of crazy.
So weird.
I think it's like a 2-finger overlap, which is like just a strange.
I prefer 2 fingers.
You still talking about golf, or?
Yeah, I don't know. I lost track.
His post-round interview was awesome too. Like you said, George, he doesn't have the normal. I'm happy to be here. I was happy how I play. He's like, dude. He's like, I know that I've I've meant to, come to the top here. I'm finally here. This is where I belong. So why not go out and put on a show? Like I've always wanted to be here. I'm finally here. So like, let's do it. And it was freaking awesome. Awesome attitude.
He was
Gotta love it.
That was the opposite of Xander's post-round interview. Did you see Xander's post-round interview?
No.
Dude, that was brutal.
He was so
It was
defensive.
brutal. He was like, he just didn't. I want to see him get mad. Like he was like, oh, like I tried my best. Like I played.
Yeah, he said the
well.
same
Like,
thing over and over.
I'm like, dude, you literally blew up and collapsed. Like, get pissed off. Like you're a mess. Like
Yeah,
just
he
get angry
said-
about it.
He seemed defensive. He was like, "Yeah, I got a lot of people are gonna say I only can come in second, but my team and I know we're better than that." And you're like,
Yeah, no, dude, you
So-
just literally blew up on
Which
stage.
blew it.
which means that's all he's thinking about. That's what that means.
you imagine if
Yeah.
that was Finau that did that? How hard? we
yes.
would be,
Yes, I
right?
could.
Know what I thought was
It makes
interesting with what
perfect sense.
Xander said was they asked him a couple times about that shot, or pretty much the whole interview, and he said that looking back at it, he should probably go left to right into that pin location instead of right to left, which he was comfortable with. And at one point, he finally said he wasn't comfortable going left to right, which is crazy to me. How good these guys are! You think they could do whatever they want to a golf ball, and when the pressure comes down to it, they're gonna do what they're most comfortable with. And you heard it. You heard him say the shot there. I know the shot there is left to right, but I couldn't perform a left
He
to
didn't
right.
commit to that. He did.
Did
he was
did
messed
anybody
up.
hit left to right into that pin?
No,
That's a
yeah,
crazy
it's-
shot.
Yeah, some
I
people did.
wouldn't. I wouldn't
I
try
That's
to
a
do that.
wild
Patrick-
left to right.
Patty Daddy birdied that, and he stuck it real close left to
Yeah,
right.
but he's a
Did he?
drawer. He probably drew it in there though.
no, he
No,
went
well,
left to right.
Left
Really?
to right.
Oh,
yeah,
well,
I think so
that's
because
a,
it
that's a
started
perfect
left of the
example.
hole and went down.
That's
But yeah, it was. I don't know. We keep going back to the Masters. It's so epic. But
I know. It
Yeah,
was so
how
much
do you,
fun.
I mean, how do you not? That's his first triple bogey in
major.
tournament history, right?
Any tournament
For
or a
him.
major?
I think it's any tournament for him.
And can someone explain to me what was up with his facial hair? He needed to shave. It was
Yeah.
disgusting.
Maybe it was a luck
Steve's
thing.
toothpaste.
Oh, well, that didn't work. Shave.
Shave.
Oh, I will say, I mean, it like hole 14, 15, that tournament was hot fire there for a second. Like
No.
Hideki came back to the crowd, the group a little
15.
bit. The group came up to him, and then then that happened, and it was just like Hideki for the. Thankfully, that happened for Hideki. Although I guess it didn't matter. Zalatoris was second, but
Every year we watch the Masters, and every year I come out of it thinking you got to be able to shape the ball both ways comfortably. It's why the
Yeah.
Phils do well, Tiger, Bubba.
Bubba, yep.
It's like all about like you're gonna be in those positions where you got to hook it around a tree or hook it the other way or approach the green on a certain
do you
angle.
think that a huge reason for that is because of how fast the greens are? So the ball is going to roll a decent amount in the direction that it's spinning. So like
Yeah.
certain greens, you just have to, like that one as an example. Also,
Yeah.
like the wind probably caught his ball a little bit. The announcer said that right when he hit it. And
Yeah.
if that ball is 3 yards further, it's fine. It's in the bunker.
Always. Yeah.
So many
if
shots.
If it's not on the
in-
green, it's in the bunker. Crazy.
So many shots are 1 yard away from perfect.
Always.
It's terrible.
It always comes down to the weather is my bottom line. Which, what a nice segue that is, eh? Let's talk about the weather. Although I will say we don't have much excitement here. If you haven't been to Hilton Head Island, I highly recommend it. It's awesome over there. Beautiful place to spend some time. Thursday, we got 10 to 15 mile per hour winds. It's the windiest day of the weekend as it shapes up right now in the forecast. 40% chance of some rain showers, most likely in the afternoon. Friday, 5 to 10 mile per hour winds. Not any rain really to speak of. Some clouds. It's going to be a beautiful day. High around 70 degrees. I didn't say Thursday's around 76. Saturday, also around 70 degrees. 5 to 10 mile per hour winds. Chance of rain around 30%. And then Sunday, chance of rain 40%, high around 75 to 10 mile per hour winds. So the wind doesn't seem like it's going to be a story here. Anything can happen when you're right on the coast like this, but it looks like there's going to be some fairly muggy, sticky, and actually fairly cool weather for this time of year for this area. That's it for the weather, folks. Back to you, Check.
I think we got to get into some picks here.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Feel good.
Let's do it.
Whoo! All right. That goes right to me. You're getting Stormy Georgie back to back. You're welcome. We're
Belly
going
to belly.
Flying Embers. First round leader. First round flyer. I always screw this up. I don't know why I can't say this correctly. What's wrong with me? Here's what I'm doing. I'm taking a guy, once again, who's got pretty high odds. High as in if you bet it and it wins, you win a lot of money. I like to do that for first round flyers because we hardly ever win them. So why not go for some value? This gentleman can go low. He goes low often, but he often doesn't do it 4 rounds in a row. He's my height. He's 5'9". He's a little chunkier than me. He's 175 pounds, although it's probably all muscle on him. It's probably all in the glutes. He's 28 years old. He's from Argentina. His name is Emiliano Grillo.
Where is he from?
At 66-1, which is grand value for him, in my opinion. First round on this course. I think it shapes up nice for him. He's going to shape it up nice out there. Who's next?
Wait, real quick. Where is he from again?
Yeah,
I didn't.
Argentina.
Are you sneezing?
That's not a. That's not a place.
I think you got to do a little more. Argentina.
Yeah.
No, that's like a.
Wait, you're saying Argentina?
He is. I think that's where.
What did you think
That's what
I
you're
was saying?
saying?
What did you think I was saying? Turkey?
I thought you
didn't
were
know.
saying some crazy island, Argentina.
Argentina.
Oh my god, that's awful.
Yeah, that's real bad.
Your face is
That's
awful.
terrible.
You went with the Henhina.
That's aggressive.
That's really not nice.
All right, moving on from Argentina.
I took that personally.
I am going with someone who is ranked high in the world, high in the blended model, played well last week at the Masters, is a little overweight, Terrell Hatton.
You guys are.
Where is he from?
Not Argentina.
I can't wait for him to win.
I love Hatton here. I love Hatton on an iron course. There's a lot of guys that I see in that European iron play, kind of like Noxie here too. I'm not going to go first round leader with them. I am going to go with my boy who I rode like Seattle Slew. What happened?
That's a great dramatic pause there. Well done.
I rode him like Seattle Slew with my value bet last week. He is the guy that elected to break his putter and finish off with a 3-wood on the green for his last 3 holes in one of those rounds.
Which, by the way, I think he putt better with the 3-wood.
So
He
awesome.
putt very well.
I was so stressed.
Amazingly, Siwoo is 60-1 first round leader. So he's very high in our blended.
Well, he's
I
not
think
putting
he's-
well.
I think he's high in the stat model. He actually plays Pete Dye very well. I actually like him to win also, but I'm going to take him first round leader, 60-1.
I like it. I like it.
I don't have the odds up, but I'm going to go with Charlie Hoffman. He's been super fire lately. He's got the best recent form around. He has been known to be first round leader here and there. I like him.
I got
think
50 to
put it
50 to
together.
1. 50
Right.
to 1.
I'm going the Hoff.
I love it.
Yeah, he's high on
Somebody-
that blended, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Popping.
He is.
He's straight popping.
Popping hot.
He goes straight brim, doesn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, he's got a big old fat head.
He does
he's
a
not even-
weird glasses thing.
Guys
Yeah,
are
I don't
really
think the brim would bend
body
on that
shaming
giant
everybody.
head.
We are.
We are big boy golf where we make fun of big boys.
And we're
Rock, I see you're rocking the gray hat, huh?
The gray is so nice. The gray is nice.
We're gonna do another order. Put your orders in on our website.
Are we shipping these from Argentina?
Argentina.
Sound
All
like
right.
Vegas.
All right.
Yeah, so we got outrights.
Yeah.
Outright. Is this me? Yup.
Yeah.
Outright. I am going with somebody who ball struck their balls off last week, and
Hey,
I
nice.
loved watching him swing. Corey Corners, outright winner, 23-1. A little
Nice.
short on odds, but I like him.
Is that an Aussie accent?
I don't know what that was, really, to be honest.
It sounded,
Canadian.
it sounded a little Aussie, yeah.
He might be from Argentina.
He's from
I
Ohio.
I've come back to the well a little bit on this guy. He's let's see, he's 6th in the blended model. Doesn't have the best Pete Dye history, but pretty good recent form, and he stats out well here. So I'm going to take a little bit of a shot just because I like him, and he's high on the model at 75 to 1. I'm going to go with Chris Kirk. Like this guy, want to see him win, like rooting for him. I know.
Love it.
I know.
love it.
I have a
love that
hard
you
time
love
getting away
Kirk.
from guys.
I love that you pick him every tournament. He's awesome.
I know.
I root for him every time too.
I do want to acknowledge you did happen to say you liked my Terrell Hatton pick. I feel very honored. Thank you.
And I liked your Corey Connors pick, but until you made it, now I'm like,
yeah, the mush.
I'm all about fading your pick.
I'm getting back on track here. I've been off track for about 18 weeks. I'm going to get back on track.
You can't get back on something you never on though. Who's up?
I'm up. I'm between 3 gentlemen. I'm going to tell you the 3. I already have decided which one I'm going to take, but I'm going to tell you the 3.
Yeah, right.
I was between Hatton, was one of my first thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Matty Kuchar was one of my first thoughts.
Wow.
And then seeing the model, Paul Casey.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think I picked?
I think you picked Paul Casey.
Paul Casey.
We're wrong by the look on his face.
I don't know what's.
I went Paul Casey. You're right. I was waiting for Ron to guess.
What are his odds?
I'm deep into my
28 to 1 ish. Freddie, in order for you to get back in the competition, you really needed to pick somebody with longer odds than 30. Because even if you hit, you're still losing.
Where does it talk about it?
All right.
What does that mean? Even why would you say that?
Well,
We're on
because
a public
34.
forum.
Freddie, I feel bad. We keep teaming up on you today. It's not right. You look terrific.
Hey.
I will say that. You look really great. Your hair looks good. You look fresh. You just shower.
Thanks, George.
All right, here we go. I'm going to go with my winner because my picks are better than everybody else's, so you should probably listen to me the most.
Wow.
Here's what I'm doing. I'm sticking with south of the border, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm doing it for a good reason. This gentleman might be the smallest man on tour, and because of that, I sympathize with him. He's 10th in our model. He's 5'7", 160 pounds. Let's be honest, he's probably not 160 pounds. He's 30 years old. He's from Mexico. His name is Abraham Ansel.
Wow.
Can we talk about his penalty in the trap really quick?
Sure. Let's talk about it.
That was a light one. That was a real light one.
By the way, he's 30 to 1. 30 to 1.
There, in my opinion, needs to be a subsection to the rule that upon the review of it, because that wasn't called at the time, that was reviewed later on, correct?
Already, I have to interject. I like the way you're speaking right now. You said subset and you said something else, some other word that I can't think of right now, but you sound really professional.
Yeah.
Very
well, let's
good.
go. We're talking rules, so you got to get real specific, you know?
I love it.
If that was reviewed after the fact, whoever's doing the reviewing has to take into account, did the contact with the sand improve his lie? Because isn't that the whole part of that? They don't want you making contact with the sand because they don't want you to have a chance of improving your lie.
I totally agree. Or if it was intentional, even if it didn't help him and it was intentional, then I get it. But that was clearly not intentional, and it clearly didn't help his lie. And you're taking 2 strokes from the guy in the biggest tournament of the year. I thought that was real bullshit.
And it was real minimal.
It's a terrible. I mean, it's a couple pebbles of sand that had nothing to do with the shot. It was on his backswing of, you know, when guys address the ball in the trap, they're moving the club around a gazillion times to get a feel. He never contacted it then. It was right at the end when he pulls the club back. He knocks freaking 3 grains of sand off the top. Doesn't affect the lie at all. I think it's bullshit. I think it was terrible.
It's tough for me because it is Augusta, and Augusta, if there's any place that upholds every single rule, it's Augusta, you know? So it's like, I think the problem is it's a shitty rule. Or there needs, like you're saying, there needs to be like a subset, something added to it. And maybe
You
that
just wanted to say subset because he did it.
How'd I do? Did it sound natural?
No.
Sounded forced.
No.
You should have said a different word, you know? He already used that.
Addendum? Oh, I should have used addendum. That would have been much more impressive. But yeah, listen, I've always been shocked that nobody touches the sand because Ron, you're right. They're always like, they're right behind the ball. They're wiggling, they're jiggling.
Well,
like
they do, but there's not always a close up on it. You know, it's guys touch the sand here and there.
Speculation.
Come on.
I object.
You know it happens.
But you really can't make that a subjective call. Like, oh, was it a little sand? Was it a lot of sand? Was it like? Then you're getting into a tough subject there.
That's true.
So it's
That's a good point.
It sucks, but it's also like, okay, how much is too much, right? And then you're making that
Yeah.
call, and who's making that call? Some random dude
That's a really good
at the
point.
court. Like
some
it's
random dudes making the call on the friggin' course anyway, right? When we had the whole plugged issue, some judge is coming over and he's looking down.
No,
and
but
he's,
there's a
"Oh,
rule.
stick your-
There's
you
a
stick
rule.
your finger in
follows.
there. Just stick your finger. You
It
feel
was
it?
Hideki's. It was Hideki's translator. He's the rule guy.
Probably was.
I agree with you. You got to put some human. I would agree with you, Ron. I should say, not you, Freddie.
Wow.
You got to
You know
This
what? Don't hold
podcast
back.
has turned
Tell me how you really feel.
anti-Freddy so
Tell
much.
me how you
No,
really
but
feel.
you
I hope
gotta
I
put some
fucking
logic.
hit first round leader, fucking top 20. I hit everything. I'm gonna hit
a
everything.
great point.
I was
personally.
so close to hammering Corey Connors. Complete fade. Fading him. I loved him this week.
Oh God.
Complete fade. Unbelievable.
That's funny.
We said this last time. Whoever we bet first round leader, we gotta bet outright, and whoever we like outright, we gotta bet first round leader. It happens all the time.
Hideki was my
Make sure you do it.
first-round leader.
I know.
All right. Sorry, Freddie. I love you.
All right.
Apology
What are we on?
accepted.
What are we on?
Uh,
We got
We're on
sidetracked.
value. It's value time.
Oh.
Oh,
There is gigantic value here. So I'm actually, it's not going to be my value pick, but I don't understand why Siwoo is plus 200 top 20. That
I
doesn't
concur.
make sense to me. That should be plus 115 and it's plus 200. I'm not picking that. I'm going to bet that. That's not going to be my value bet for the pod. My value bet for the pod, we got
That's so
high
weird.
odds. What?
That's
what?
so odd. That's so odd. How can you like point out the biggest value on the board? It's unbelievable, and then say you're not going to have it as your value pick.
Ooh,
Did I
Doesn't
say it
make
was the
any
biggest
sense.
value on the board?
I don't think he said that.
Okay, you're gonna give me
No.
something. Go ahead, give me something bigger. I'm waiting.
I'm going to give you something a lot bigger in a second. This guy is, I'm not counting all the spots. He looks like he's somewhere around 20th in the blended. I am going to give you his breakdown. He is off the charts. I think he's like top 5 or 6 in our stat model. He is top 15-ish on Pete Dye courses. So you put those two together. There's recent form, right? Even though I said in the beginning, I like guys with recent form, but Pete Dye course performs well. Stats out great here. It's a shorter course. I like him on shorter courses, this guy. He is 225 to 1 to win with those kind of numbers. Great on the stat model, great on Pete Dye. This guy should not be 225 to 1. But anytime you see that kind of odds, you know you're going to get value everywhere else. Top 20 is plus 500, and that is Shez Reavy, another guy that I go to the well to a lot. I like his short game. I like his iron play. I like his proximity. Plus 500, top 20. Shez.
Rocky,
I just
call-
want to
you call
say,
that.
I don't know if you read the write-up, but I said Kirk. I mentioned you for Kirk, and I mentioned you for Ches Reavy because I know you love both of them.
He's-
I
you're,
love
start,
both
you're naturally starting to handicap us as well.
I know. Hey, I like the way Reavy stats out. I love the play,
Yes.
dude.
All right. I'm a little torn. I'm between two guys, and I'll tell you who they are. The first guy is number 1 in the stat model. His name is Russell Henley. Top 20. I'm doing all top 20s here is what I'm thinking. And he's plus 200. And then the other guy is the guy that Ron just talked about, Siwoo, who is number 2 in the blender, and he's plus 200. I'm definitely betting both of these guys without question. So, jot that down. I think I don't know who to take. I don't have their weights and their heights, so I'm just gonna wing it. Damn it. You know what? We've been talking Siwoo too much. I'll go in Russell Henley, top 20, plus 200.
Number 1 in the model, man.
Number 1 in the model.
One in the
Hashtag
stat model. One in the stat model.
follow the stat model.
Top 20, you said? Hey, Ron, you had
Yeah.
Reavy top 20?
Correct.
And Henley is also, I think he's 12th in our blender.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
those
my man.
odds
Top 20. I think it's great.
seem cray-cray. Okay. I like
All
it.
right. I am sticking in the top 20. This is the biggest value on the board at plus 500. He is 55 years old and striping it. Jimmy Furyk.
No, you're not.
Top
No, you're
20?
Is this a joke?
Top 20.
You
He
know what?
plays well here. Check
I-
his stats,
I
Ronald.
kind of like it. I kind of
Check his
like it.
fucking stats.
I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Can I just tell you what Jimmy Furyk has done here before?
Go ahead, tell him. Rock, I want you to tell him. I'm not going to tell him. You tell him. Tell him. Plus 500, by the way.
He loves
Biggest
Pete
value on the
Dye.
board.
He loves Pete Dye.
I know he's won here before, but the last 4 years, cut, T70 cut. So,
Oh no!
but he has won here before.
Listen, I can't talk
What's
too much crap.
70 minus 50? Top 20.
Funny. But
Smart.
Last time he was on Jimmy sideways swing, he overperformed, and
What?
I ate my words a little bit because I hated it. So I can't do it again. I hope the best for you, Freddie. I really
Thanks,
do.
Ron. Thanks.
Really do.
That's
He's
the
not the
kind
best
of
value
we're
on the
looking
board.
for. There you
Plus
go,
500.
boys.
Best value on the board. Read it and weep.
All right, Big Rock, close us up.
All right, I'm going. I'm going Sammy Burns, top 20. He's plus 500.
Ooh,
That just doesn't seem right to me. Even his outright odds. I mean, he's a better player than that.
that is crazy. I wonder why he's been playing like.
Well, he's more of a long like the drive is where he makes up some stuff, right? Usually.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Furyk won it in 2015, and in 2014, he came-
1994.
2015 he won. 2014 7th, 13 42nd, 2012 8th, and before that they didn't have the internet.
Yeah,
but yeah,
Sammy
don't
Burns
know.
is one of the worst players recent form. That's probably why he's so.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Which is weird, but we all go through it.
Yeah,
For the people.
He has a 9th here in 2 years ago.
Hey, for the people, I think we got to go back to something that it's not such a long shot. I really want to pay somebody something.
I mean,
I don't care if it's 30 or 40 bucks. I want to send them something.
all right. Well, the issue right now is there's really not many odds out yet, so it's hard to see what our options are.
Oh, you mean no? There's
Huh?
odds. What are you talking about?
All I see is top 20.
We
I don't
still
see
hold
like top
podcasts on
10s. I don't see
odds.
top
Are
5.
you-
we got
Where are you looking? Yeah, it's on DraftKings. What are you guys feeling?
Oh, all right.
I mean,
We've been talking Siwoo a lot. What is he top 5? I bet he's like
top
plus.
5 plus 1100.
Ooh.
11 to 1.
What's he top 10?
500, top 10.
I like that.
I'll do that. 5 to
See,
1.
top 10.
I'll take him for Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
Siwoo top 10. I love that. He's gonna have a putter shaft in a 3-wood.
You want to go Jimmy Furyk, top 20 for Twitter?
Oh God.
No.
Oh God.
Oh, man.
Who are you off this week, Freddie?
Yeah, who do you hate?
I hate Paul Casey.
Oh God. He's number 1 in the
Number
model,
1 in the
bro.
model.
Let me
hate him.
see. Let
Hate
me
him.
see.
His
Well,
odds will be
Casey.
his odds will be short. He's plus.
Yeah,
He's
his odds are
dipping it.
his odds
Yeah,
are way
yeah.
too short.
Yeah. How did you guys feel about my Abraham answer action?
I don't mind it, but I don't love his odds. Plus 650, top 5, plus 300, top 10.
Here's what I worry about Abe. Good old Abe
Yep.
this week. He's similar to Morikawa in his ability around the greens from what I've seen. I don't know if he stats out like that, but
Mm-hmm.
these greens are tiny. And if he ends up in a bunker, he's going to be all scared that he's going to hit the bunker. I just.
What
What
about Russell
about-
Henley? If we go Russell Henley, then we'll
Oh.
take 1 and 2 in the
I like that. I like that.
I don't like Henley, so it's probably a good pick.
Oh, we
Nope.
should hammer.
solid.
What are the odds for him? Like top 10?
Top 10's plus 500, the same as Siwoo.
Boom.
All right, I'll do that for Twitter. Top 10
BBG picks
top
at
10?
Twitter.
Yeah, top 10.
All right,
There
got
we
any,
go, ladies and gents. BBG picks. Find us everywhere. We're everywhere. Fucker.
At Twitter, at Instagram, at Facebook,
At the internet.
bbgpicks.com.
Don't steal Freddy's jokes.
BBG, follow the model, pick
I'm
winners.
Trying to be nice to the poor guy. We've been hammering all I can't speak. See? That's karma right there.
Yeah, that is. All right, boys.
Follow
All right,
model.
boys. Wonderful
Follow
night.
the
Follow the
model.
model.